Hey kids, I have a question for you. How many of you out there are missing going to church? Me too. I know some of you don't go to my church, but you might be out there and maybe you guys have already gone back to church, which is fantastic. Maybe you guys have not gone back to church yet, but I am definitely missing church. It has been a long time. It has been about 2.5 months since we've been inside of our church. And I have good news for you. Next Sunday, June 7th, we are going to get to go back to church. Yay! I hope you're as excited as I am. But it's still going to be a little bit weird and a little bit different and maybe kind of scary. Some people might be wearing masks. We're going to have to spread out. We're not going to get to sit in the same pews, in the same rows, because we have to separate a little bit more. And it might look a little different. And it's going to be really hard because I just want to go and hug everybody. And we're supposed to try to stay separated. And I think it's going to be hard just to get up early and get out of bed and get out of my pajamas for once. In thinking about going back to church next Sunday, I wanted to talk about what is your favorite part about going to church or the church building itself. Do you have a favorite part? Oh yeah, those are some great ideas. Just some things about my church that I love. Even when I go traveling the world, I love to see stained glass windows in churches. Now at our church, we have a gorgeous stained glass window that used to be on the outside of our church, but when we did a renovation, they took it off the outside and they actually put it inside the big room that we usually eat in. And it's a huge stained glass window, and you can turn a light switch on and the lights will shine so you can see the beautiful picture on the stained glass. I love stained glass windows. I also love the cross. We have a big wooden one in the sanctuary that's right in the middle, and so we have the 3 crosses on our lawn. I also love during the holidays when we have our really tall Christmas tree that's right in the corner of our sanctuary, and you can see it as soon as you walk in. I always love seeing that. I love hearing the piano and hearing the choir sing, and most importantly, I love the people. I love being in the church with all of those fabulous people. So again, it's going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little bit different and weird when we go back, but I hope you're as excited as I am. Now, when I was thinking about all of this, I was thinking, can you imagine going to church and not having people? So we have lots of people that do different things in the church, and it reminds me of a Bible verse. In 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 12 through 27, it talks about one body with many parts. And that reminds me of the church, because we have one church, but we have lots of different people that do different things. So some people come and bring the donuts every morning. Probably won't be able to have that for a while, but there's people that do that. There's people that are good at teaching, so they get to teach at church. There's people who can sing. We don't all like to sing, do we? But there's people that like to sing, so they use their talents in the choir. And I really like when the one of the youth gets to stand up and be part of the worship service. So we all have our different parts, and it all makes up the church, and that's what makes it so exciting and so special. In the Bible, in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 12 through 27, I'm going to read parts of it. So verse 12 says, "Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body." So that makes sense, right? We're one body, but we have lots of different parts that work together. They all do their special job. In verse 15, it says, "Now, if the foot should say, 'Because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body,' it would not, for that reason, stop being part of the body. And if the ear should say, 'Because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body,' it would not, for that reason, stop being part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the sense of hearing be? If the whole body were an ear, where would the sense of smell be? But, in fact, God has placed the parts of the body, every one of them, just as He wanted them to be. If they were all one part, where would the body be? As it is, there are many parts, but just one body. The eye cannot say to the hand, 'I don't need you,' and the head cannot say to the feet, 'I don't need you.'" So that's just like the church, isn't it? We're not going to say, "You don't want to sing in the choir. We don't need you. No way. We want everybody to feel welcome and do their special job and their special gifts from God. In anticipating going back to church next Sunday, I have a really cool craft that I'm excited to share with you that hopefully you'll like to do too. So what you're going to need for this one is you're going to need a piece of construction paper, and you're going to need an envelope. So it could be any kind. It could be the long one. It could be one like this. It could be even a colorful one from a card that you've gotten. But you want to make sure that you kind of have a point that you can use, because we're going to make a church. So here's mine. Yay! It's so cool. I love it. All right. So what I've done is I took the envelope and I opened it up and I glued it onto my paper. I found some cross stickers that I had, but you could color that on yourself or draw it on. And I've got the doors, and then I added some stained glass windows that I just used with markers and colored pencils. And I've added a Bible verse. So hopefully when you do yours, you can add it too. It says, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." And it's from Psalm 122, verse 1. So there it is again. Let us go to the house of the Lord. That's what we're going to be saying next Sunday. And I have a special surprise. My church is not empty. Right now it is, but next Sunday it's not going to be. So guess what's inside? I have people inside my church. I have myself and my long blonde hair and my glasses. I have my mom, and I have my dad, because the three of us will be going to church next Sunday. And I can only find one more popsicle stick. If you have the smaller, skinnier popsicle sticks, not the wider ones, you can use those too. And then I have Pastor Doy. So here are my people, my popsicle stick people. You can use googly eyes. You don't have to. I used Sharpies or permanent markers, but you should be able to use any kind of markers on there. Crayons would work probably. I don't think colored pencils would. So what you're going to do when you're done is you're going to have your envelope. You're going to have your church. You're going to glue it to your paper, add your cross, and then fill it with people. Fill it with your family that's going to come to church, and fill it with your favorite people that are at church. Maybe your Sunday school teachers, or maybe your friends that you like to sit with. And there, we're all falling now. There is my church and the people. I hope you enjoy making your church. Bye.